Yes, this is a very interesting question, a little controversial question a little bit, and that is, the basic message of Orthodox Jews before they're married is, we don't have intimate connections with women, we don't hug them, we don't kiss them, etc. We kind of separate, and the question is, how do you convey a positive connection to marriage and ultimately intimacy if it's something that's such a taboo subject, something that we totally avoid? And then they're, of course, getting counter messages from general society that involve a coarseness and debasing attitude, and how do we counteract that without, as it were, crossing the boundaries that religious Jews don't cross? Is that a paraphrase of your question? Okay. Yeah, so it is a very good question. So first and foremost, you have to understand something, that although marital intimacy is considered to be holy, sacred, and beautiful, it is really an expression of love and relationship. So consequently, let's assume we have a married couple, right? And we have children. So I'm not going to talk to my children about sex. I mean, at some age I might, but they're 5-year-olds or 6-year-olds. I'm not going to talk to them about how beautiful sexual relations are. That wouldn't be an appropriate message. But if they see that the relationship of father and mother, of husband and wife, is one of love, one of respect, one of really caring for each other, so then they understand when they get older that the intimacy is an expression of that love. And that love is something that they can absorb even at a very young age. So people ask me, for example, and this is maybe I'm going on thin ice a little bit, is it appropriate for husband and wife to hold hands or even kiss each other in the presence of their children? Or do you totally keep it private? So I would say this. Again, some people would disagree with me. Obviously kind of the ravishing, hug and, hugging that you would have as a prelude to intimacy, that's not necessarily appropriate in front of your children. But the notion of holding hands, the notion that kids should absorb the fact that Abba and Ima love each other and care about each other, I think that's a very good message. And I think children should see that, and children should be aware of that. And children should understand that a husband respects and loves his wife as a wife hopefully respects and loves her husband. So I think if there's enough of those positive interactions, you don't necessarily have to talk a lot about sexuality in explicit ways. Now again, at some age, when kids are adolescents, you may have to have conversations about various things. But I think overall, if they absorb the correct, healthy attitudes in an emotionally stable home, that will be a very, very good preparation. Now, the problem is, of course, that a lot of our homes are not emotionally stable. Even if you come from a religious home who keeps mitzvos, let's say, that's the best case scenario, sometimes husband and wife don't get along so well. And then the question is, how do kids pick up proper attitudes? That's a real challenge, but that's a challenge really whether you're religious or not religious. But if you're asking me, what can I as a parent do to convey that positive view, I think it's primarily in the relationship that my kids see between my wife and myself.